Hey everyone, Tom here, Battle Rap Resume, back with yet another episode of the show. Shout out to everyone listening on the live stream right now. Just before we get into the day's topic, go back and listen to the event preview of some Poetic Warfare thing we did. And go back and listen to all the times I've spoken to Saurus and Sue Surf and Avocado and all the top 10s and what. You know, there's so much content over there. And it's been quite fun actually going through the analytics on the YouTube page. Explains Everything is still the #1 video every week. That is what most people run to. But there's been quite a varied menagerie outside of that. So we're also on Patreon as well. If you enjoy the show, you want to give back to show, episodes like this will go on there first. It's basically a premium pay-per-view hotspot for anything BRR. It gets edited, it gets put on there. Check out Pun It as well, my competitive wordplay game show podcast I've been shilling out for the past couple of months. I've had on there, I've had Bagnall and Heretic and various other poets and friends of the show. And yeah, it's been a delight. But today, this is a topic that I've wanted to cover for a while, but I just love having this guy on the show, very knowledgeable and, just a sort of hail fellow well met, as it were. Cameron, how's it going?
Hey, yo, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm well. I mean, it's mania out there in the neighborhood right now, but things are okay for you?
I'm right.
Yeah?
Partly I'm essential, so that's something special in my life, somehow.
Yeah.
Of all people, it's little bubble fuck me for Scotland that's an essential person somehow. But no, well, before we start anything, rest in peace, Fred the Godson.
Oh hell yeah, just passed right yesterday. Oof. Terrible, yeah.
Fucking hell, that's sunk in a little bit. Like he was one of those fucking big stars that I wanted to battle. Like, I mean, say he wanted to battle, I used to listen to the ciphers and that because he was dead slick with it, and I always quite like that. Like, he would just look at you. No, not look at me, obviously. Maybe he is looking at me.
Right, yeah. The royal you.
Yeah. But
yeah.
But you would kind of you would be straight at the camera or looking at the mic, do fuck all, and just spit, and it was great. It was, rest in peace to him. That's something hurting the culture for sure.
Yeah, no, I saw Briggsy tweet about being a fan, listening to his tapes when they were in the studio years ago. Swave, of course, I think they were close. Like, it's it's a huge loss, and I mean, in the music world alone, we've lost so many titans. John Prine recently, Adam from Fountains of Wayne, etc. But yeah, R.I.P. Fred. I'm glad you said that. Definitely R.I.P. Fred the Godson.
Yeah, it was just on my mind. It was on my mind.
Now, so today I want to do a bit of a freewheeling conversation. As you can see in the title, we're going to be looking at the best and worst international performances over on UK soil. And that, for the most part, is Don't Flop. But obviously, we saw with the decline of Don't Flop, the rise of what I like to call next-in-line leagues that did, one event every 6 months in a small room with your big names. And, they had, a coterie of stars that came over. But, Cameron, the idea of the international, of the literal culture clash, of someone coming over from a different country, reared in a different climate of battle rap, but they still speak English, they're still spitting 2-minute rounds, they're still punching, etc. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, that's one of the things I absolutely love about battle rap. I love its capacity to just throw these different corners of the world, of the mind, together in the pit and see what happens.
Yeah. You know what? It kind of feels like it rides from. So if we're going through this alleyway, it kind of feels like it rides from where just before, or at least when we started to get internationals, like way back in almost, I want to say 2011, you kind of had the nerd rapper versus the gun rapper.
Oh yeah.
You had them collides.
Definitely.
And it's the same kind of energy when it comes to the UK and the US. US being the staple of battle rap, the culture in itself. It's always a fucking drama. Like, I think every event I've been to, maybe except from one Scottish event in a pub, it has been for the internationals almost. Like, it's been, they're here. Like, okay, let's go. This means something.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to a lot of the UK talent, but there's more of a drama that comes with it. That, okay, now we have to show, because it does bring in the views a bit more. But no, there's always Maybe it is that culture thing of the UK versus US. It just it's hidden behind it. That I think we feel like we understand more than them.
Yeah.
If I'm to relate that to anything, it's kind of like It's kind of like, best way to describe it. Okay, I've got it. Now, it's like with you guys and like say English people, Scottish people.
Hmm.
And bless you English people and bless anyone that's listening from England, like you don't understand why Scotland as a country hates England.
Right.
As you come over and it's like, oh no, why would they go against England and everything? You don't understand. And I don't think the US also quite understands
Hmm.
of how big a thing it is outside of it. So if we had like England, like I tell you what, I don't. Maybe they'll fill out in like a Wembley Stadium as well. But take it to Scotland, and that's full of Scottish fans because they're all, you know what I mean. It's almost tribalistic, but there is something about that though. That it's always the US. It's these guys are coming, or whether it's from somewhere else as well. I shouldn't just include the US, but it's okay. We have to represent, and it's coming home.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Well,
it's
we
that same
saw it
vibe.
with Team US right recently in Premier Battles. You were there, the Apex, weren't you? Like that was
Yeah,
really
yes, I
that
was.
was really codified into a us versus them dynamic. Which sometimes it's subtle, but there it was full on. They had jackets and everything.
Hmm. Oh yeah. And then you had battlers that jack the chance of not getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? Like, although we had some great battles in that there, but they really got screwed over. And
Hmm.
I think that kind of amplified this whole US versus UK thing, really,
That's a
quite a
moment.
lot.
Yeah, that is a moment. I think when they're writing the grand history of battle rap, intercontinental relations, the whole Apex debacle will be held up as one of
I
those.
mean, yeah, one of the biggest shit shows ever.
Yeah,
Excuse
yeah.
me for swearing. If
No,
anyone sat there with their families, like, and they're like, there's
on a
kids are
Saturday
like
night.
there,
Yeah.
and they're just, yeah, it's a Saturday night. What are you doing? Come on, come on.
Yeah. Now, as I say, I just want to do this as a general conversation because really this topic is absolutely ginormous. So I kind of want to thread through a history. I've gone through Don't Flopsy channel on YouTube, organised it from oldest to newest, and tried to catalogue as many internationals as I can. But let's just get a more general chat before we go into the specialisation. So I put on Twitter, at Battle Rap Resume, planning a new episode looking at the best and worst international showings on UK soil. Who's worth a mention? Now, Briggsy got in touch. Briggsy, the battler, the soliloquy decapitator, the league owner.
Oh yeah. I'll let you explain it for them, but we know who Briggs is.
Yeah, we know.
Anyone that's here knows it.
Exactly. And, Briggsy has, there's a rarefied air around Briggsy in his opinion because he books these people as well. So let's just focus on his list. So he gave us some best and worst here. So best, he was saying, in terms of internationals, Loso versus Dialect, which I think it was very fair. He brought that professionalism across.
I mean, if in Losso's performance, yeah.
Mm. Oh yeah, just on international shows.
Dialect.
Dialect was okay. I mean, I don't think he was necessarily like D level. No, you didn't like him.
Yeah, he had that. You know what? I think he did have the good angle, like the son of a preacher man type deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He did have the angle. But was it a third round or something? He like really messed up quite hard, or
choked early. Yeah,
sure there was something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
but I mean, if it's off Losso's performance, yeah, Loso was amazing. And probably should have been booked since. But that's neither here or there.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we just talk about the international showings rather than the clashes themselves. Like, what are the guys that have shown out here? I mean, someone else that Briggs said, Lotta Zay, which is a very slept-on battle from Sixth Birthday versus Mystery. Great clash.
You know what? It was good. I think it was the best of a bad bunch. What was that? Sixth Birthday weekend?
Sixth Birthday, yeah.
That was not a good event. Like, they highlighted that as if that was the best of a bad bunch. You got the yellow banana out of the right. Well, you know what I mean, out of the green ones. Like,
yeah.
It was good, but I think it seemed better because the rest were terrible.
Yeah,
this was same round with.
It's supposed to have Shotty versus Young L. I think was supposed to be the headliner on the Saturday.
Oh, that was just so good. That would have been so good.
I mean, we had Dialect and Zen versus Shufflo there, and C versus Chiller went down, and which wasn't great actually. Gem versus Big T, etc.
Yeah, even Dialect. What was all one rounders? Dialect versus Cortez was on there as well.
No, that was a slightly separate event. Was Dialect versus
that
was Fifth Birthday, I think. Dilated
Oh, was
Cortez.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because he came over with DNA and they battled Wiz and Sis. Now, Briggsy mentions a lot of people would say this is the ultimate international appearance on UK soil. Arsenal versus Shotty.
Okay. You know what? I thought you were about to say Madness versus Coolers, because that's clearly the ultimate.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate. But
Uh-huh.
yes, okay. Okay, that is that. I mean, that's a certified classic, isn't it?
It is. It is. Yeah.
I mean, and you know what? I think Arsenal just played it well. He knew it was like he pandered enough without actually pandering. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like it was so smart of him to wear the Arsenal kit, kind of and pull it out. And although mention things here and there about Arsenal, he didn't pander talking about with your London eye. Like
Yes.
it
Yeah.
was really it was a smart move. It made it way more watchable than what a lot of other internationals try to do.
I mean, he does mention to Shotty early on, like, he says, like, you do anything for a Klondike, and Shotty's like, I don't know what that is. And it's like, he did bring a little bit of that US vernacular, which they often do, and
Yeah.
it's difficult to judge, isn't it? Because I know that if I was a battler, and I didn't know anything about basketball, I would put my foot in it. I'd do like a stupid bar. I'd be like, when Tom Brady dunks, like, you know, it would have, you go into that direction, like, you definitely put your foot in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arsenal was incredible, and on a more recent tip as well. I mean, Shotty's going to mention Arsenal, going to mention Pro Battles, but he is right. Real Sick versus Maverick was explosive.
I'm glad you've got me back on to talk about this because I can't believe. No, before we go into this battle, I do feel bad, and I think I told you this already. Now the night before, like I when I get to London, because me and you were there, I never actually spoke to you, because I was on stage for that.
That's right. Yeah.
When I was there, right, I felt a bit shit because I'd been in London the day before, went to Camden Market, I just thought, oh yeah, London experience, I did, and went and got some like food off some street thing, right,
Sure.
and then continued to drink till about 2:30 in the morning. Threw up so badly, I burst like a blood vessel in my eye. So I was the whole day of the event, I was dead shifty with everyone. Like, there's a few people that said to me, even when I went to the next event after, like, yeah, it was a little funny. I was like, no wonder my eye was red.
Yeah.
I was not coming across there. But Mav versus a Real Sick. And I like all the little tidbit stories and that. It's hard for me to say that Seek won, but I can definitely see.
It's hard for you to say. Really?
It's hard for me to see. Yeah, it's hard. I mean,
crazy.
I maybe it's my bias. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
but I tell you what, people slept on Mavericks first because the mic was low.
Okay.
They slept on that badly. Like, and I was when he went through them rounds with me, that was my favorite round. Like, because just the punch heavy, but no, like that was a great, and that's the thing. Real Seek's just showing superstar quality, and I think off that performance alone, what the Crucible? No, it's not the Crucible. The Ultimate Madness he's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultimate Madness. He's got himself on there off that performance. Off like that was not career defining, but it was the leap that he needed to do something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the first time he rocked the big room, right?
Yeah, and boy did he do that. Felt that behind me as well, and he's you know that stank face of the yeah, that was Maverick was giving me that stank face. I'm like, don't you do that? You act professional.
Right.
Hit it.
Now, at that event as well, where we both were, you would have been on stage for this. Serious Jones completely shit the bed. Like that was maybe one of the worst international showings there. He didn't give a fuck.
Yo,
like,
we said this though.
Yeah.
See, why was like, come on, we could have had Tony D versus Loso.
Or
Tony
really versus Cannon. Like, yeah.
Oh, we could have had so much there. So I'll tell you another little story on that, right? This is generally like, and I wanted to tell you about that actually when you were doing a recap on BCM, but never got a chance to. So it's going on. Tony D, boom, 3-0s him, right? And this is Serious Jones choking and all that. And this is when one of the parts that got edited. It shouldn't have been edited. It shouldn't have been, but it did. With the fourth round having all the bars and all that, and him spitting cannabis style.
Yeah.
And So I'm on stage there because the lady who was doing the checks and stuff seen me with the thing on. I just kind of winked and off a pop went up top. So I'm stood there. There's Shotty, Gemini, and then there's some girl. I'm not sure who she was, but we all kind of stood behind, right? Shotty Horror grabs my shoulders and twists me to my side, and I'm like, who the fuck has got their hands on my shoulders? Turn around. Instantly, someone does that. It's a bit of a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn around at Shotty Horror. I think I cannot fight Shotty Horror on this stage, but he tells me to shuffle along. So like me as us four like fucking cartoon characters shuffle from the stage, staring into the crowd still, shuffling like all the way down the stage, out the way, just to get away from the stage from Serious Jones disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And he's like, yeah, they just needed out of there. I was like, fucking, they used me as a fucking scapegoat, to get out there. Like, I couldn't believe that. Fucking, what a waste of money.
And quite a lot.
Sorry,
of
I'm getting a bit aggressive. I feel bad for him.
I feel bad as well because it's just like, you know, quote unquote legend, whatever. We'd seen what had happened with Respect BA, killed William Wallace. Yeah. You know, it's beggars belief why you would hire him. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't just dip in the bag for like, you know, a UK legend or something to like make it a bit more worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, Sirius was terrible. He says verse Tony, but I think verse BA as well. And that is the stereotype, isn't it? Like, that's what I saw. That's what I like about Real Sick and people like Red Flag and Mad Flex. They were puncturing the idea of the bloated American coming over for a check. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just kind of doing the bare minimum and coasting on what little star power they have. Like, there's nothing more ugly than that. There's nothing, you know what I mean? This is about grit and determination and practice. And that is just, it just makes you kind of hate the sport, doesn't it? It's nothing competitive.
Yeah. Typical capitalism.
Yeah.
Americans. That's that whole thing, typical American, probably comes from just like things like this, you know, just taking advantage of it and just getting the money and going, doing things to themselves. Honestly, it is a bit of a check sheet. So it is like, oh, I booked Serious Jones once. Right, well, you did it, then he do it again. Like, leave him for other leagues to go and sort out, because he can pull out good performances. He just, when he wants to, you know, like...
Northern Europe,
terrible decisions, but it is that whole stereotype. I think Kid Twist had a bar about that with Fresco or Madness. One of the two. It's like, typical Americans. Mm-hmm. It's like, that still hits hard to this day. Like, you just call it typical American. Yes, but continue, sir.
I mean, let's turn it on its head, though. Like, just to...
Oh, here we go.
Like, British showings on overseas soil. Like, we've mostly done well. Like, we are buzzed. Okay, Tony versus Real Deal. Everyone's going to talk about Tony versus Real Deal. Obviously... really don't know what happened there. Tony just malfunctioned. But, you know, I'm thinking about anytime Earl Kruger went over in the Grind Time era, they were great. You know, later on Blackout, Shuffle was dope. Soul, you know, versus Sketch and Pigstein, Osha and stuff like that.
That is a slept-on battle.
Yeah.
Soul versus Sketch. What?
Yeah, that's a crazy battle. Yeah.
Poker Face, like and my dog's poker face, like a famous painting. Like, what?
Yeah.
That was fucking fire. No, you know what? Like, there is a lot of good ones, but they're not impactful. But maybe it's that little bit of star power that America has. You know what I mean?
Shot is the only one, really, that's turned the tide a little bit. I think after Fingers, people were actually eager to see him back. I don't think there's been that again, really. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what, actually, here's a little thing about that as well. I see when the Blackout thing happened and it was like Shuffle T versus Kid Twist. I remember being like, oh yeah, Shuffle T and Kid Twist. And then being really disappointed that Nameless popped in the 2-on-2.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you got Marlowe as well, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, you wanted a 1-on-1.
Yeah, I would either the 1-on-1 or get Paul Richin.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You mean WRC old school? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, either or. But the battle was great. Like, the first 2 rounds were fire. Mm-hmm. And then the 2-on-2 kind of made it gimmicky. I don't know. I mean, I know it's great what they were trying to do, but it didn't go out that well. But when it comes to these flipping it on its head, although there is a lot of great ones, well, a few great ones, there's a lot of forgettable ones that you just kind of.
Do you remember when Chris Lees
I
went to
think
King of the Dart?
was that not who was that against? That wasn't against HFK, was it?
That's a mastermind question. It was against Tricky P. That's some deep knowledge.
Fucking tricky, yeah.
Because Chris had won the original. Yunnan. Chris won the. Oh yeah, Yunnan went over and battled HK, and Yunnan chokes immediately, but still does all right. But he fucks it straight away. He's like, forget those bars. Like, yeah, it's just a bit.
Yeah, forget those bars. I got more.
Yeah, forget those bars that have been saved forever. Like, yeah, it's.
Yeah.
But no, that was when Mosh Team like invaded like World Dom and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, who else was on that? I think Quill kind of he never really did that well. He had two.
No, he tried. Yeah, he battled.
Yeah.
Who did he battle? A J Pro, right? Was it J Pro?
J Pro was the last one. That was Blackett, wasn't it?
Yeah, he battled Ellipsis as well, I think.
Yeah.
Ellipsis did well with him, I think. I think Ellipsis beat him.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think J Pro might have beat him too, but.
Yeah.
You just, it's that same thing though. Like he's doing well, but the performance isn't. I don't know. I think the UK lacks star power, but that are the crux of it. That's why Bobby Rex gets fucking taken over these places. Because to be honest, as much as I do respect the man, like he kind of does well internationally.
Yeah, what did he battle? Alias, the Attic, I think.
Alias, Poor Rich. Yeah, he's kind of done okay. He's done better than a few others. I'll say that.
That's what they want, though, isn't it? I think they want the stereotypical bit of British rough. You know what I mean? The Guy Ritchie geezer paradigm. Like they don't want the wordsmith. Like they don't really need.
Yeah, they don't. Like you go for like the pit bull breed and Bobby, and come out with the Tom Quee. That's who they come out with.
They don't want a soliloquy on World Tom.
Mate, you should have been booked. What? They were messing up there. Come on.
I don't know
what I'd face. Not even a GZ. Get a wow, you.
I'd face like Mew Lips or something. I don't know who I'd go against. Like
Mew Lips.
What's his name? Dale Denton on iBattle. Like I'd like to battle him. He's a pretty clever dude, actually. Oh no, what's his name? Homeschool is a genius.
Yeah,
he's actually inspired.
Homeschool, he's the really small guy with the curly hair.
Yeah, and he's like Christian and quite emaciated, but super intelligent. Like, really like his stuff.
You know what? I don't know. Is it Dale Denton that looks like an Adam Sandler character?
I feel kind of does. Yeah, he looks like he could be an extra.
Billy Madison thing.
Yeah, he's kind of got a Billy Madison extra kind of vibe. Like, but no, Dale Homeschool.
That's the drama started already. We'll just get that tape, send it out. Let's get the circulation going. Let's get your tickets paid. You know how drama sells. Come on now, Tom. You know this.
So just going back to the Twitter now and Briggs' list, because he sent us loads in there. Some more of his worst here. He said Michael White, which is fair to say. Like, we did a Checkpoint 2 recap recently. I can honestly say I don't get Michael White. Like, I don't get the absurd voices. The kind of, the Kaufman sort of idea. Like, it just... that outsider battle rap, it doesn't quite work for me.
I was kind of sad. I think I can't remember what show I was watching about him. I was kind of sad when I realized that he's just faking it. That he isn't actually like Cook, and he's not trying his best. Sure. He's just faking it, thinking that this will work. He's a bit of a snake oil salesman. I think he's a if I pretend I don't, and everything will be fine. Like, he's a bit of a snake oil. But I tell you, he managed to get a flight out to the UK. Like, respect the man's hustle.
Yeah,
I just don't know what I was thinking.
No, I think it was that era where Pedro was just white hot. So let's throw him into different situations. But like with Uno on the big stage, like with Michael White, it just kind of. I don't know. It just didn't work. It just felt forced. It did feel forced, and a few others that Briggsy's mentioning. A few other big fishes that came over here and just didn't put the effort in. Let's tackle them both. Calico versus Raptor, Math versus Shotty. I mean, both of those for different, like, okay, the math thing with the second round.
Yeah,
like, has anyone ever done that?
What a big brain play.
That is a crazy mode. Like, I've never seen anyone else do that in Battle Rap and just not write it's not like because not writing a third, you can jersey your way out of it, but not writing a second and still writing a third, that's so much more bullshit. Like,
yeah, well, you know what? He can say that he finished the battle. Yeah. That's what he can say. You can actually say, and to be honest, if you just give away around
opinion, like
like he is just you know, it almost seemed like he's gonna play it off, like I'm gonna win the other two. I've got a plan. What was the plan? Like it never came into fruition. Like after, like I thought there might have been some sort of gimmick. I have a fourth round. Let's go, and no, that was terrible. Like, and it's what a shit time for the crowd. Like that. I mean, to be honest, that was, from what I'm aware of, that was an ass event. That was like there was like the 2-on-2s in the middle of that tournament.
Yeah, that was and
it was Oh, God, what a fucking waste of time that was. But yeah, that was a fucking hustle from Math. He got his flight, he got his pay. I'm assuming he still got all his pay.
I mean, he was back on Don't Flop, wasn't he? He battled Chiller on the US card, which is a great battle, and then he battled Dialect. Yeah, the late minute one rounder. And but yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That angle. I've not, from what I remember, I haven't seen the battle in the wild, but like I've not written the second round because you're not worthy. It's the same logic that you saw in a lot of WRC battles where we just spent the entire battle rapping at your friend because you're not worth it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just the reasoning, the logic. There's nothing very sharp about that. I don't know.
What was it? Was it Cap Callis and Sokan versus Tricky and Sharon? And they both have that. Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah,
in the first, like, fucking crazy. Like, you ever see like an early Sharon battle recently?
I watched, because I'm starting a new series on Battle Rap Resume called Tryout Time Warp, and the idea is it's going to be a video series where I watch a tryout battle of a famous battler and sort of analyze where they came from and famous bars and stuff. So I did watch him versus Sandman recently the other week, which is his King of the Dot debut, and yeah, it's more idiot than Savant at that point, you know?
Yeah, like he is something else. See with the arm movements and the head shaking. Oh my
god,
I can love even though it's from a different race. I know tricky.
It's very Thunderbird's puppet. Like, it's got that kind of mode to it.
It is exactly it. Like it's the strings above him and that hand, like
very Jerry Anderson. Like, yeah, it's it doesn't really work. But
he is, honestly.
But I mean, let's talk about Sharon though, because like there are certain battlers like DNA that we, you know, the Don't Flop crowd, the UK crowd, whatever, we love these guys because they're value for money. You know, they bring that sheen and that rigor, that internal talent that the US have. But they also they have a sense of humor about it. You know, they're not fully Sharon, but you know, Sharon like absolutely roasted Yunnan, like murdered him.
Now
Dots as well,
swipe the hand.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! That was so disrespectful. Like I at the time when I was 16 or something at that time watching that, going, what? Losing my mind because he missed a high five.
But it's what Yunnan says before, where he called him like a disfigured pygmy infant. It's like, Christ.
Imagine that. You call someone a like if you're like in some sort of insult competition thing, and you're like, I'm you disfigured pigmented Sigfin, and like, and you're going through all of this, and then he just goes, high five, psych. I don't shake albinos. Like, God, that is. How depressing would that be to lose to a big high five?
It's such a jock at the high school lockers sort of move, and it's like an almost anti-Sharon move, but it's just
and it's only in battle rap he could do that.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
it's only he does that in the street.
No,
that's it.
Yeah, he's going back in the locker if he does that. But in that environment, yeah, fucking hell, and he just pulled it off of aplomb. And, you know, I'm trying to think. I mean, Sharon was just here, wasn't he? World Dom 8.
Yeah.
you know, against A-Ward as well. So, you know, we do see
Yeah.
him over here. He freestyle battled Pamphlet and Pedro and all over. Like, him and DNA, I would... Yeah.
Him versus Dots.
Oh, that was
Dots?
Checkpoint 2. That was incredible.
Oh, that was nasty as well. Dots is getting all emotional and that.
Oh,
like,
Dots
Dots
is like Philly's going to slap the shit out of you. The problem was Dots' writtens were so terrible. He was ragging on Sharon for not having anything in the bag. But he just did this whole scheme about fucking Sharon's mom for all the Canadian provinces and squirting maple syrup on her. And it's just like, come on, bro. Like,
out of context, that sounds so wild. Yeah, just squirting maple syrup, you know, just yeah.
Just getting that Aunt Jemima compound, just like fucking it wasn't good. But who? Okay, so let's go this way then.
Right.
DNA Sharon. Who else would you say are the sort of cast iron internationals that do well over here? I said big Cannon as well.
Is this the tier list? You know what? Okay, so cast iron definitely bring them over. Mm-hmm. I couldn't say Big Cannon because of the Matter performance.
I mean, yeah, but the Raptor performance, the Tenchi performance, the freestyle Royal Rumble, like...
But we have to hold that accountable.
Sure.
We have to hold that that's your recent work. And I don't know if you've watched Big Cannon recently. He's not in the scene.
No, you're right. He floundered versus DNA. I know it was a few years ago, but that was a big disappointment.
I love that battle. I love that. But that's one of those ones that I go back and watch a lot, Big Cannon DNA. Like, I do love that. Yeah, and there was one really recently on Norb's channel that came out. I think who was it against? Stacks Almighty.
Okay, I've not seen that one.
And it's not a good battle all in all. Like, it isn't. I mean, Stacks wasn't good either, but that was like a couple of weeks ago that came out. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't put him in the cast iron. So cast iron, book. Pat's there. Throw him up there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not been over much, but when he has been, yeah, undeniably, he's...
Yeah, because I mean, I'm kind of cheating with the thinking of the Tay-Rock performance, but then also the Tony D one, where come on, he 30 Tony D.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't...
He 30 Tony D. I wasn't in the building, but I got the pay-per-view, and I happen to know what Tony D did. That they covered up.
He cannabised it, yeah.
And that's the thing, like, that's the second time he's cannabised it.
Yeah, and then BA as well clowned on that, mate. It's like, why didn't you get out your fucking writing desk and all that shit? Like, yeah.
And that's the second time he's cannabis. Like, so I put Pat for that because that was our goat, and Pat made him look small.
Yep.
Another one, maybe I'm biased. I know I just mentioned it. I would throw Madness in there for the Cool Edge battle. I just watched that again.
Yeah. I mean, he did the 2-on-2. He battled Osh as well, which I was at that event.
Psychosis Holocaust.
Oh yeah, they did. Of course, they did the fourth birthday. What did Psychosis say? Like, he's like, you're American DVD because you only get played in your own specific region or some shit like that. Like
that's kind of fire.
Yeah. That's a fun because that's all like a movie references battle, isn't it? It's a good battle.
Yeah, it was.
I'm in the 20th century, Fox. Like, you know, all that sort of shit.
Yeah, I would definitely say that he is a sure win for cast iron. You're going to get something. Now,
I love Madness,
you may think I'm probably bugging here. I'd probably throw Disaster in there. Not because of the battles, but because like the entertainment value of it all, the Prada, the performance that comes with it, you know what I mean, the god tier type energy that like at least more affordable than a Lux, I suppose, that that provides in the room, because no matter what you, even with Sensa, like way back in the day, and then with the Yunnan stuff, like, you know damn well what you're getting out of Disaster, and it's to perfection of what the UK would want and what we need right now. Like, we need Disaster back. Like, he's on a whole different level nowadays, for real. For me, anyway. But he just has this whole Prada with him, and I'd throw him up there. But if there was anyone else, so what we got maybe Pat, Madness, DNA Sharon.
You know who else I'm going to throw in there?
Okay.
Bullets.
Yeah, 100 bullets. Well, he did choke in the Bamalan, John.
That's a low-key classic. Like, I think that battle, for me, is the outlier that chokes. Like, everyone says chokes ruin battles, ruin rounds, whatever. Yeah. I think that battle's so important. Like, that battle, like, just for me,
you better check yourself.
Yeah. after that bar, I wasn't the same ever again. Like after the how do you know this guy's noted? Like it just you know how like the Ed Sullivan Show, like Birth Rock and Roll, like when the Beatles played, like it's equivalent to that in a certain way. Like after that, I was seeing the whole world in scheme and wordplay patterns.
I could assume you've come up with that reference off of the Paul McCartney podcast he was just on as well.
I mean, that's just a reference to the Chamber, but you know, but it was that kind of watershed moment, and but I don't want to be that guy where it's like, oh, it's how important a battle is. I think just in terms of content, great back and forth between a sardonic millennial stoner and then a more arch interior reference game guy, you know.
Yeah, it's probably Bam Bam's best performance. Be honest.
Probably so. Actually, no, you're right. It is his best performance. I would say that.
Yeah, when it comes to everything else, like although I enjoyed him versus Bender, I think Bender's top cast iron as well. R.I.P.
Bender. Yeah, no,
that'll be the name of the episode. Rest in peace.
Yeah. No, Bender's a great shout. I mean, we saw him originally versus Ark, where he was still King of the Champ. He was still on that run, and then we saw like the 5th birthday stuff and obviously the Frankie stuff and what a go. Oh, someone saying in the chat as well, Saurus. I mean, Saurus has done very well over here as well.
But he has done well over here. He's also no-showed a lot here.
I don't think he's on fault, the original event. I think he was turned back at passport control or something.
He's done that more than once, though.
It's happened a few times.
No, not that his fault. Yeah, it's happened a few times. That's the only reason I would think. Not because of him, because he does do great, and he's I met him in Ireland. Like he's a fucking awesome guy.
He's amazing, dude. Like
yeah, bro. How did he went? Oh yeah, Cameron Gray, I know you. Like, how the fuck do you know me? How the fuck? We're in Ireland. You're main eventing. You're sat over here, and you've come on. Oh, Cameron Gray, I know you. Like, how?
2 times, man. That's all you gotta know. Like, he just knows. Yeah, shit.
That's fucking mad. Like, it was like, oh yeah, I've been friends with Facebook. Well, I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook. Well, like, I don't know all their names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm being totally honest. But yeah, he's up there with his performances, but him getting to these places, not his own fault. I couldn't put him high up there for a cast iron.
Okay.
Maybe get one more performance that he can come to the UK. He gets to Ireland fine.
Mm-hmm.
Comes to the UK, I'd throw him on there too. Ilmac has to be there.
Oh, Ilmac, yeah. I was just about to say Ilmac.
I mean,
definitely.
Even our Ark Soul, like, amazing performances all around.
Tony as well.
Who?
He battled Tony, didn't he, as well?
Oh, he battled Tony. Okay, I thought you would say Tony D was a good international.
God, no.
Yeah. So, anyone else that would be like up there? I think that's kind of...
That might be it. That might be it. Because there's like a lot of guys who have came over, like, you know, Red Flag's been a few times, Mad Flex, etc. But they're still... You can't put them in that upper tier. Because it's like someone like DNA, for example, going all the way back to the Censor Battle. Just, he's always headlining, you know, Villain he battled, Kruger he battled, Koj in that one rounder as well. Like, he's just comfortable.
You know, he's always had these performances. You know what? I forgot about that Censor Battle when he threw up.
Yeah, and he had that whole Malcolm X line. Yeah, I mean, he just got to him. Oh yeah, and the whole Reece Jones. Again, that's for him to tailor that. Like, it would be the equivalent of someone going over and doing like a Philandro Castile round or something, you know. And he did it with sensitivity and nuance. Actually, he pulled it off well.
Like, is that what's DNA's best UK performance then? Because I'm kind of thinking that might be it.
I mean, if we're talking versus UK Censor, but I would say maybe he's a little better versus Arsenal, just slightly. But that's
I don't know. No? I cringe at the whole wearing the dreads and all of a sudden I'm Arsenal now. Like,
but the ARS scheme, you know, when he does the ARS, the words, like I'm a sucker for that. I love that.
That did age horribly, being honest.
Like, it is very 2012 wordplay,
In the sit arse, and the bit bars, and
over the years, I met a few stars through it. Like I don't know, 20-year-old me used to be like foaming over that. Like,
oh yeah. You know what? Actually, for one person who came here one time and gave a performance of a lifetime, conceded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'd put him. Especially his stature now, you could put him in a cast iron he'll fill out a Ministry of Sound like that.
Oh god, yeah. On that Wild and Out stream, especially. Like, you kidding me?
Oh yeah,
he's known.
Like, what a great battle that was. Well, that's one of those.
That is one of those. That's what you want from the international showing, isn't it? You want the crystallized URL dominant archetype versus one of the best Krugers we've ever seen. That battle's incredible.
I'd say that's definitely the best Kruger. Like, there's no question of that. Like, that must be the best.
He's so
Kruger.
in control as well. Like, he's so good. He does the round and he like polishes his badge and looks to the camera. Like, Freddie was just in his bag. Like,
oh my, what was the? I think Conceited actually admitted that's the only person that's ever beat him.
Damn, that's mad.
As well, it's a few interviews and that he's done. I think maybe with like Queen's Flip and stuff like that he has said. Freddy Krueger's the only one that got me. Out of everyone he's battled. That's crazy to have that. Like.
What do you think of, just on Conceited briefly, like, obviously we're both huge fans of Black Compass, BCM, you ring up regularly. I was on the other day, we did a Mastermind episode with Q and Cola.
Yeah, you never told me about this.
Yeah, we need to get you on, man, in the future.
Never told me. I would have pulled up on that. I was so annoyed at them. They were too busy trying to be cool. Like, oh yeah, I don't know too much about that. Oh, fuck off the thing then. Like, I was fucking raging at them.
But they, you always especially hear, like, Polo saying stuff like that the Conceited is aged like milk. Like, do you think there's room for him to come back, or is that era just passed?
I think there's room for him to do a one-rounder. That's it. Because he, you know what? It's the same thing with like basketball and stuff. That it's a totally different thing from now. You know what I mean? It's battle rap has totally changed. Like, you put Conceited up against a Twerk, like, Twerk's doing extra double step backs and through the legs and everything else just to get to a punch. And Conceited's just, he still stood there. He always had performance in what he is doing, and like himself, he's naturally a performer. But he's not actively using that performance. I don't think he ever really has.
Yeah.
Like, actively, like, it's the look he gives that gives a performance. It's not what he's actually doing or thinking. He's not really thinking about the crowd. Mm-hmm. He just happens to at the end of it, and it just seems to work. I think when it comes to battle rap now, you can get away with a one-rounder because the while and out, the whole thing, the energy will carry it, but in a 3-round battle, like for what's expected, in the pace alone, nah, you're not doing it. Like, look, I mean, compare him to K-Shine. You know what I mean? That K-Shine, who was probably around the same time as Conceited for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Although K-Shine kind of climbed up the ranks to become where he is now. Like, how different K-Shine is from then to now, Conceited never did that change. Probably to his detriment in regards to whiling out and being accessible, but for what battle rap is now, one round at most. That's it.
And Ark mentioning on the Twitter thread, one of the ultimate. This guy was overseas once, committed a grievous body and left it in the memory. Sonny Bamboo versus Villain.
Oh, poor Villain. Villain doesn't do well with internationals, does he?
This was his first international, and
you're right. Sonny, DNA was kind of close, but he's never really done that well.
No.
Like, and Sonny, that's again Sonny's best performance, but I think they were just waiting on the big crowds. To be honest, they were waiting. I think that is checkpoint 1 as well, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, yeah. It is. Okay. I think it was almost like the warm up to Conceited and Kruger, and you can tell with that it was definitely a warm up battle. It's hard for me to not just shit on Villain for that. It was just not. It was just
because for people who haven't seen the battle, like. Sonny Bamboo essentially just kind of pinpoints that whole albino angle perfectly and says some real brutal, horrible, clever stuff. And in the interview at the end, Villain just looks pissed off. He looks defeated. Like, Sonny really did a number on him. Like,
I'm so glad they stopped doing them interviews.
Mm.
You know, I see.
I
Just
mean,
at
word
the
to
end,
Steph, but yeah.
yeah, like at the end of the battles, like I'm not sure. I don't know how many people really stayed to listen to them unless you were
Yeah.
diehard fans.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you could have that. You should have like they did for after have it on another channel. I think that it just added a lot more to like the playtime, and it wasn't needed. I'm kind of glad that's not a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Because if you're like listening to it and you're like driving or something, oh I can't change it. Oh now I have to listen to 10 minutes worth of an
Yeah, yeah,
interview right
yeah.
after. Oh I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe I've got no time left to listen
No,
to
no, I
interviews.
think that's fair. And I mean, you know, we've just recorded. It'll be on the channel shortly. History of the 2v2 2013 Don't Flop tournament. And, you know, there's a case of a lot of those videos being like an hour long. And half an hour of it is fucking, you know, Marlowe
Talking
in
about
his
it.
garage. Yeah, and it's like, we don't really need this. It's, I don't know, they're not very fun
It's
to watch.
excessive.
It's very excessive, you know, and already 2-on-2 battles are
Yeah.
slightly bloated. Where do you stand on Big Terrence? You know, he's been over to the UK quite a bit. What's his record like for you?
He see okay. What is record here? After the Gemini battle,
Hmm.
he became a meme of the UK battle rap.
Absolutely, yeah. The whole Rob Wilson angle.
That's the bugger's name, Rob Wilson.
Yeah, there was that video of
Right.
him in the pool. I don't know if you remember, he shot off slapping the water.
Yeah.
That got a lot of play. Yeah.
And then what was that? I won't mention the girl's name, but I remember the poor lass. Although it was
Oh,
probably
Emily
playing
Tilly.
it
Yeah,
on.
it was.
Well, I was meant to keep it on.
Everyone knows her
I
name.
was trying not to say the name, but okay. But you know what? I met her for the first time. She knew me too, and I'm like, oh, but
No, she's
never
great. I've
mind.
had her on the show. She's a lovely girl, like really good to talk to. But
Yeah,
no, but yeah, it was like I don't remember too much of it, but I remember it was just this kind of joke that went too far, where he just was pursuing her in this very
yeah.
unseemly way. I don't know.
Because I remember that video was about her as well.
Mm.
I remember that pool video was, and then she was getting tagged in it, and it was like, oh, it's a although it's fine, it's kind of like, is it fine?
Yeah,
It seems
yeah.
excessive.
It's
I remember cringing at that. It was, I don't know, maybe just this whole internet dating thing is just no. Although it's probably better now, but when you're tagging someone in a video of you in the pool on Facebook for everyone to see, yeah, it's no the nicest thing to see.
no, and it's I don't. I'm looking at his verse tracker now, and there must be some
Okay.
there must be some battles. Oh yeah, okay. It looks like a few of the battles are out of order because okay, no, but he's battled a lot on Don't Flop actually.
He
He's
has
he,
like Mr. E as well, and
Mr. E, Caustic, which was overseas, Rob
oh yeah,
Wilson, which I was actually at. I'm standing on stage for that, and he dropped Our Real Monsters bar. Shout out that old school Nickelodeon show, which is pretty
yeah, shout
dope.
out to that. Right.
But yeah, the gem battle was exciting for sure.
Mm,
But beyond that, you're right.
they do.
The Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
he did achieve a meme ironic status, and stuff like Calcium Kid, for example, it's almost like was the mad scientist just throwing together his toys there. Like I
yeah.
understand the value of that battle in an ironic sort of way, but I don't think it necessarily paid off.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I guess when it was all art, it was like I just want to see these clashes, and it
Mm-hmm.
was. I kind of felt in the later years of Don't Flop, he was doing that a lot. Like that is, oh, I want to see it, so we're putting an event on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
where you could have crowdsourced a bit more and been a lot smarter. Let's maybe smarter with the money that you were taking in to pay these flights and stuff. You could have done a lot of different clashes, and you wouldn't have had to just follow just a meme.
Yeah.
Because that meme ended up being very profitable for a certain Big Terrence in the end, which again, I'm not mad at the hustle, same as Michael White, but
Right.
you know, yeah, I'm not gonna dunk on Big T anymore. Next,
Someone else we didn't mention who was more in the earlier era of Don't Flop. He came through later on as well, and to be fair, he did give his money's worth and did give some good performances. Uno.
Yeah, you know what? He actually did. You know,
Yeah.
I'll give Uno credit.
Luna,
I
Mickey, like, those were pretty vaunted clashes.
yeah, like in the Lunar Sea, no matter what he did, the Lunar Sea, John, that was him set for life.
Mm.
Like in regards to UK credit and doing all these
Yeah,
other
oh
things,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah. You battle
like
you
okay,
and like every UK fan can name every Lunar opponent. Like it's mad. I know he
oh
didn't
yeah,
battle that much, but that is still a big accolade to name 7. Like everyone knows DPF. I mean, shout out Bloodstro.
yeah. But I love Gully
I
Bloodstone. I
love
think he needs to get
Bloodstro,
back
man.
to
Yeah.
that archetype,
Hmm.
like that. I'm the gangster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
he's going to run Premier Battles now, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Word to Ryan, man, and he's got he does a great football podcast as well with Flawless from a Third Eye
Mm.
View, which I listened to recently, and they have another co-host who's awesome as well. So yeah, yeah. I mean, shout out Ryan, but in terms of Uno, then he came back versus
Right, okay, but
Juan, and he battled O'Shea. Yeah, he battled O'Shea at
uh-huh.
Distinction 2013. Yeah.
And Big J.
And Big J, of course, yeah, that where he goes on
Yeah,
Big
this is
J's
where
door.
Big J dropped the N bomb.
Big J drops the M bomb, and Uno goes in on Big J's daughter's weight as well. She needs a forklift
What
to
a
make the
fucking dumb
forklift, and
battle.
yeah, yeah,
It was just. I remember the trailer when it was like when that came out. I remember crying of laughter about it, and it was like Big J is like set up, and it just goes Ma, and it cuts on to the
yeah,
next
yeah.
battle. Like
They knew. Come on, Bagnall knew.
what? Yeah, what was that about? Like, we know Big J's doing a return now, like, but
Yeah,
what was the point of dropping the N bomb?
I can't.
And why did he not get like not to wish harm on somebody,
No,
but why did someone just go, hold on a second, don't repeat that, just go on to the rest of your stuff? And why did when that happened to what's his name? Oh, I was going to say Frost. Shout out Tom. No,
no, I know you mean. What was his? Yeah, that guy who dropped it recently.
Fozzy, Fozzy.
Oh, you're talking about another guy. Yeah, yeah, Fozzie and Jack. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, why? You know when I just the energy is different. Obviously, it's a bigger stage, so you can't
Mm.
really press them like that. But I feel like I don't know. I still we kind of felt away about that. Like that's
Yeah,
not a battle
they're
I've ever thought about watching back again.
no, I remember.
Not I'm white.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna click that. I gotta get that sound bite. I'm white. But even then, I listen to that and just go, that I don't know what the angle was there.
No,
Like
no.
you shouldn't have tried that. As if everyone, 1,000 white people are going to go, woohoo! He did it!
Yeah,
Like breaking the
it
wall or
was cringe.
something.
It really was cringe, and it's like I remember at the time because obviously Big J and Hulk are close friends, and there was that show
Yeah.
that predates BRR, like one of the early UK battle rap sort of commentary shows, Clash of the Day. And they had, I think the guy was called Nux, who
That's
was
all
the
right,
other
then.
co-host. And they had Big J
Mhm.
on, and they dissected that and got into an argument about that, and kind of, deconstructed that idea. So yeah, I agree. There was that thing, but I mean, Uno versus DK as well, 4th birthday.
Oh yeah, that's actually really good.
Hmm.
Like, but then I think I'll say this that Uno up to I'll put a stamp on 2015.
Yeah.
He's good money. After 2015, it all goes left.
And what,
Like,
is that after the Cortez bodied him?
yeah, that's exactly it. Well done. That was a vote, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Well
yeah.
done
Oh,
on
that's
that.
never been. I'd never seen that battle. I just know from the Goons and Goblins that
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
it's probably worse
Yeah.
that we never seen that battle as well.
Oh yeah, it made it a lot.
That
Yeah, the
that the
aura.
word travels in that.
Mhm.
And because I remember I was there after but did you go to the PG event after Summer Madness?
Oh, the one that Twerk no showed on. No, I didn't go.
Yeah, the one that's I love how that's
that
how
that
it,
doesn't narrow it down though in terms of events. Like that could be one of many.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so this is where I Kid versus Uno Lavos happened.
Mm.
Boy, Uno Lavos got cooked.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uno Lavos, oh, it was nasty. It was to the point. I don't know. I believe that battle never got released either, but I think it was over business problems.
Yes.
But I Kid fucking smoked him badly. Like, and I think Uno was not that he was stumbling, nothing was hitting, nothing that he was saying was hitting, and he looked ridiculous for everything he was trying to do.
Mm.
And I could just smack, 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 punches and everything. Like probably the best I Kid performance. But yeah, everything after 2015 is not worth getting an Uno Lavos
I'm
over.
just on Uno's verse tracker because I'm just curious what his career is at the
Mhm.
moment. So no battles uploaded this year. Last two battles, sorry, he had three battles in 2019. So he was on
Mhm.
A Hat in March, battling Lex D,
Right.
who
Yeah.
battled Harry Baker amongst other people. Yeah, I'm not really a Lex D fan to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
He battled Drugs on Gates of the Garden a month later,
I remember that.
and then he battled O Solo. And by the thumbnail, O Solo's wearing an old like Victorian medicine doctor mask, and Uno's in full Karate Kid garb.
That I remember they tried to promote that as the sort of gimmicky.
Mm,
Oh, this will be hilarious type. You know when there's like two clowns that are like trying to make jokes. It's
oh
never
yeah,
that funny. It's the
no.
same thing. It's like you're trying to be hilarious, and it's not working for you. Did he not battle Saga?
Uh it's not. It doesn't seem to be on the verse tracker, but maybe it was Volty, maybe it's on the app. Where was that?
Yeah, no, I'm sure it was another one of those like last minute. They had the drugs battle, but then it was also I'm sure Uno versus Saga was unless drugs replaced Saga.
Maybe so. But
Maybe.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, we got some people in the chat as well. So guys, comment. You
Okay.
know, who are your favourite internationals? Who are your least favourite internationals? Just doing a bit of history now, Cameron. Just looking back, I'm not trying to be comprehensive in any way, but it's interesting just to go back through the Don't Flop channel as a starting point
Oh
to
yeah, being
see,
reflective.
yeah, who was coming out. So someone we haven't mentioned who was there in the early days and had lots of good performances. Henry Bowers.
Yeah, yeah. See what
Hmm.
Henry was like the international with the least amount of star power.
Yes. But
Like
what? But
he
one of the
did
highest
well.
skill levels, like.
Yeah, if you were to do a chart on skill level to star power, I think Henry Bowers would be like low star power but high up in skill. He is actually
Mhm.
very good. Isn't like English like his third language
I don't know if you follow him on
as well?
Instagram.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. I want him to be my dad. He seems to be raising his daughters in
oh
the greatest environment, always playing old school SNES games, and like he just seems like the most interesting dude. And
yeah,
but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's one of these bilingual polyglots. Like, yeah, he's a genius. Like,
yeah, fucking cuckoo. Yeah, I would definitely say, but I think a lot of the Swedish guys and a lot of like those that are up there, the
the
Scandinavian, a lot
Nordic
are
sort
just
of. I mean, Nils as
the
well.
Nordic.
Obviously, Nils killed it.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Nils didn't kill it in
I
the
mean,
UK.
he had some good performances versus Uno, but the Ogmios one was a bit, yeah, didn't quite
Yeah,
connect.
that's the one I'm thinking of. That Ogmios stuff was terrible, and that
Mm.
was another one of those battles that years and years were the UK fans. We was all asking for
Oh
that.
man, building, yeah.
It was, but honestly, one of the most disappointing battles.
Uh,
Like I remember, but it's exactly what we got though. It was exactly what we expected it to be. Just the material wasn't good.
no. There's
Like we expected the slow pace, and we were waiting for the right
it
words,
was
and
too
nothing came
slow.
out.
Yeah. It was like slow
Yeah,
to the point that there was no rhythm. Like, you know, it became inertial. I mean, I remember the best bit that everyone remembers from Ogmios versus Nils, and I was there live seeing it, was when they were talking about the secret door. Like, why are you always looking at the floor? You're looking for the secret door, and that got flipped.
yeah,
And like that was a quite funny exchange. But
uh-huh.
one guy we've been skirting past as well, Cameron. I can't believe we forgot this guy. If you're thinking of Don't Flop
Oh,
internationals in the early days, you've got to talk about
uh-huh.
Zayn Azrai.
I tried not to talk about him. I tried not to.
Yo, I
I
love
was
Zayn,
just,
man. I love Zayn.
mate. I don't know if it'll get uploaded, but have you ever got a chance to see Zayn versus Slowthrob like recently?
Oh yeah, that was at the no. I
in
mean, it's not out yet, is
Ireland.
it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is one of the biggest disasters I've ever seen in my life.
Right, right.
Like, the guy Slowthrob, right? But he walks out with like, this is in February, mind you. This is when the coronavirus is like happening, but
Hmm.
it's like we know of it, but it's not come to us. It might do one day, but
Sure,
we just gotta
sure.
make sure.
Yeah, yeah.
He came out with like face masks and started handing them out to everyone,
Damn.
saying because Zayn's in the room
Oof.
and everyone behind him has face masks. Meanwhile, I can't. Zayn has a picture. I think it's of him when he's younger and like I think it's like a dress or something.
Hmm.
Like he's got like on like some really promiscuous position, and he's like, "This is him." It was one of the biggest disasters ever. I remember it was me, Kruger, and and Laura Jarvie. We was behind Zayn because no one else wanted to be behind Zayn.
Right, right. I mean,
Everyone got to the middle and the side of Sulthrop. It was bad. Like,
that's Zayn's attack, isn't it? Like, if you think about the Grist battle when he has the laptop of Grist dressed up for his stag do. Also the
your dad's been dead for years.
yeah, and Canel recently again in Bristol, he had like a
Yeah.
photo of him in a coma or something like that. So you know that he's been in that mode, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like. Zayn, he's this tireless journeyman of absurdity, isn't he? He seems to thrive off the UK crowd, like.
Like, it's the only place he battles, is it?
I mean,
Like, I've never seen him on King of the Dot or anything. Where did we find him?
let me go on to his verse tracker now. I'm pretty sure he's been on King of the Dot. He's been on the Malaysian leagues. He's been on King of the Ronalds a lot, got beef. But yeah, looking at his verse tracker, actually, mostly on Don't Flop, he was reared. That was Flip Top as well. But yeah, DF in a way is his home league. It's certainly where he's got his most views.
Oh yeah.
I mean, versus
Right,
Els, versus Grist, like Flex, Respect BA as well, like.
Respect BA, I remember that one. That was another kind of disaster.
Yeah, that was very much the sort of the new era of my friend's going to find personals about you on Facebook versus I'm just going to bar you away. Like,
was that not like just like maybe the summer after Caustic and Jefferson Price?
No, it was before. That was actually before.
Was that before?
Yeah, because that happened. The Jefferson Price battle happened at the end of 2012, and this battle was released before 4th birthday. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a Blam event in Manchester. But good. Caustic. I mean, obviously the Jefferson Price stuff as well. But Mr. 13, biggest robbery in Don't Flop history.
Oh, top three robberies.
I can't think of anything more galling than that.
Sharks vs Tony D.
Oh, actually, wow, you've pulled that out there.
I pulled that one out.
Oh, actually, no. To be fair, if we're on that bag as well, I'm going to say Raptor versus Tony D. I think Raptor won 1,000,000%.
Oh, really? Oh yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I could get that. You know what? See, when Raptor is fucking serious, God, he really is one of the best. Like,
no, undeniably, yeah. At his
what was
peak.
it? I tell you, I gotta give him his flowers right now. I've been part of this thing, just even although if I shit on him, I've also got to praise him. Like one of these things where Raptor, like he is very relatable to the younger kids, the kind of like the rough kids. So like my job, I work in like a secure accommodation for kids that have been like prison and stuff, and like. Do you know what I mean? It was it's a way of whether it's welfare reasons or they're a risk to others. Like we'll take them in and keep them like secure, and it's and I throw on like Raptor second versus Red Flag, and they really relate to that.
Oh, nice.
Quite a lot. It's one of those, and it's really nice to see because they'll quote it back to me, like you're on that side of the courtroom, like, and it's moments like that when I kind of realize that okay, although I'm very knowledgeable on battle rap, I'm not always right, because I'd probably still say that although Raptor did beat Shawnee Mack. I would have still said he was on the low from after the Yunnan performance, but when it comes back to like just battles that are good and how he is, it puts things in perspective for me to not be so always attacking because I'm right, but to let things slide a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
I think
at his
other
best,
people's perspective matter.
Yeah, he's just wavered so much, and he's just been so up and down. But yeah, at his best, consider the Words of Weapons performances versus Matter and
Uh-huh.
Future. There and Jackass as well. They're insane. Big
Oh yeah.
Cannon. He's great versus Shocks. Tony D as well. He was so hungry for it. But yeah, we're talking
Back to
about
Caustic.
back to Caustic. Like okay, top three. We have actually done an episode years ago, top 10 don't flop robberies, and we spoke about this 13 versus Caustic tons. So go back and check that out. But I mean, Caustic over here again, having that sort of dry, sardonic Oakland kind of stoner wit. Like I think that's always going to be a hit over here. I think.
You know what? He's kind of got that. I don't want to say it's the Office humor, but he's kind of got that thing where it's like it's funny because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to explain how that is. Like he could like say something and stop and look at the crowd, and he'll get a laugh off of it, or like ooh, like he'll kind of push the boundaries a bit more than a lot of other like, you know what I mean? I know like I think like the Office is all about the looks, and it's all about the you okay, kid? So like sorry, kiddo, like that.
Oh, sorry, kiddo is the ultimate round intro. Like Jesus Christ.
So, like that, the little things like that really Caustic. Like he's probably up there in a show like Iron Fist you could book and do well.
Mm-hmm.
At least do well enough. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I think Raptor. No, Raptor. The Soul performance, although he won 3-0, the energy was drained because of Soul.
Weird battle, yeah.
Weird
battle. Mm-hmm.
Like that's another one that's disappointing, but when it comes to, you know what, when you put a list of like battles that are like disappointing versus battles that are good, like it is a 50-50 list, and that's probably why there's to talk about the starting thing, why there's always this kind of UK versus US thing, or at least it's built up in the last few years, because when we have reached out, it's a 50-50 on whether we get something good or not.
Yeah. I mean, certain things on paper, like Lopeshi versus Soul, is just a one-sided body. And then things that made... I mean, remember Euphorical versus Roan? That was just such a mismatch. Like, you might as well not have done that battle. Yo,
Euphorical was like the ultimate hero.
Like, early on, that guy was like, he's such a talent. Like, Jesus. Like,
yeah. He was like that, what was to be like the next superhero of UK battle rap. Always positive, and I rap about his mum's vagina and how I love to get inside her. And it was always this slightly positive edge in a Windows Mac PC.
Yeah, the Matter computer scheme. Yeah, famous.
Yeah, like he was almost like basically the superhero at that time, and then took on Roan, shot the bed, and that was it. It was one and done, kind of. I mean, I think he's battled.
He did his own league after that. Yeah.
That's what he did.
What the fuck they called?
He's definitely in the scene for a wee bit more.
Clash Money or something. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, he was in the scene a bit more. But in terms of the internationals going forward, then I'm trying to see if there's any more we've missed. I mean, we're not going to do an exhaustive list on everyone, but Real Deal. I mean, Real Deal's been over here quite a fair bit, and he is the fucking the blue collar, dependable everyman, right?
Yeah, he. I can't believe we missed him out for the Ironclad, like top of the top, brings it every time. I can't believe we've done that.
I'm ashamed.
He is the number one.
Yeah.
Like all in all, whoever is to be the best internationally has to be Real Deal. It has to be Real Deal. Now, I tell you
versus Soul,
I've just,
Yeah,
from Soul, and then it was Raptor, and then even the little... There's a few others before that as well. Ogmios, that's the one I'm thinking of. Was that his debut?
No, I think he battled Definition on his debut. Maybe. He did a 2-on-2 with Fresco as well versus Pamphlet.
Oh, yeah, the 2-on-2 and that, yeah. Because Definition got a lot of debuts as well, because that was Caustic's debut too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Def was in the trenches. He was one of the guys back then,
Yeah. Oh, that's another robbery. Tony D and Definition.
You think? I don't see that as a. It's not a great battle, but I
Tony
think
D did a whole lot of nothing. Had a 50-cent scheme and won a battle.
Definition does a whole lot of Family Guy impressions in the battle. I don't know. Like...
At the time I loved that though. At the time,
yeah. Don't Flop was a lot of 14 snapback wearing like Stewie quotes, like
Yeah, tight T-shirt, archetype.
Yeah. Battle rap ruined my life, like yeah.
Yeah, exact. That is the archetype for sure. I still think that is one of the top robberies. I think it might be last year I watched that and thought
that is such a hot take. Like that is. I don't think anyone would agree with you, but fair enough.
But like, I don't think Tony won that many battles.
No, in his run, well, he didn't beat O'Shea in my eyes. He didn't beat O'Shea. I never thought he beat O'Shea. And then the Chris Lees battle was a bit. I think Lees was a bit more determined with it. Younan's one of his only like actual title wins, I would say, indisputably.
Hey, you know what? And I only edged Tony that one.
Oh no, he beats Younan there. Come on, the Trevor line, the views from the label office, like.
And what was it? I'm a local pikey.
Yeah, it's stolen Nikes.
Nikes. Oh, well, that was all fun. And that was the first time I believe it's the first time we heard that whole guardian angel type wordplay. Guardian angel, angel, and like Younan was bugging.
I mean, yeah, but Younan seems to make his mind up on punches and then build backwards. So Tony, everyone knows, is a Tottenham Hotspur fan. So it's like we had like. No one's gonna add to buy your CD, and that's where your white heart lay in. There was just a lot of lazy wordplay in it. Whereas Tony just kind of, what is it? The gaps in your teeth spell out friend zone and all that sort of shit.
Well, What was the one he had? Was it the Esther painting or whatever you call that?
Oh yeah, your setups lead nowhere. Yeah. Oh my god. And Tony not wearing the Don't Flop merch, wearing just this very casual sweater, and it just adds to the elegance.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah,
I still think it's me. I think it's an edge, but I do believe Tony won that.
Yeah,
but that might be one of the only ones I really think he won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's fair enough. And I think the Lees battle and it's kind of like the Soul battle kind of hammered home that against real competition, Unk was going to have trouble. Like.
What is it when you're summing a man? It's on the when you're judging a man, it's on the sum of his actions and not what would have happened if they had done what they asked him.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. That's Churchillian, like straight. That's like something. If you died in Call of Duty, you'd see that quote. Like that is just some fucking crazy shit from Soul.
And it's so pinpoint.
Yeah.
Like what was that? Yeah. What was that?
I'm saying, I mean, as a dismantler.
I mentioned Soul, and you've just gone hyped. Yeah, Soul, rubbing your hands.
But it's just like,
hold on, let me hold at Mad Flex real quick.
As you want in a battle, you want Battler A to really get his teeth into what Battler B's problems are and to put them on screen in a succinct way. And I think Soul is just in that upper echelon of battler who can do that. Like.
And it's one of the only, and you could say this about battle rap, like depending on how you play it, battle rap being one of the freest art forms in almost anything nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Being that you have the choice and you have the decision to character assassinate. How often do you get a chance to character assassinate in general? Like what you can't really do that in basketball unless it's you deal with a play. Football, you can't, it's a team effort. Anything that's kind of with any sort of expression, unless you're drawing a dick on someone's school year photo or something.
The only real thing it would have been in the Victorian era, in poetic journals when people would write responses to each other and but you're right, you don't really you can see some sort of hashtag cancel party, but you don't see a kind of adroit way of just saying, in this sphere, so I'm not saying that this person as a whole is bankrupt, but in this world, let's pull up some shit, Gemini versus Younan, for example, the news articles, etc. When he puts it all down on the table. But no, you're right. That the art form of just dissing someone and desecrating someone is at its purest in battle rap.
And it's And that's one of those things in battle rap is what I would try and gotta keep that sacred. And this is something I've always punched on a battle rap about, like having battlers protected for what they say. There's not enough of that in the culture, because if you start restricting what people say in battle rap, then you lose the very essence of what making a round is and what you can do with it. You know what I mean? And it's one of the most important things that I've been on this wave for about maybe 2.5 years now. That you have to protect your battlers. Like, even if it is like I battle do something, a disclaimer, like, but a disclaimer that also protects the battlers, that there is a concept to this, that this is what this is. Read this first and understand our context before you see our battle.
Mm-hmm.
That so often you even definition and a lot of the greats that used to be have had their battles either taken down or unlisted and anything like that, just to help themselves. Even what you call him, Milky. He's stopped battling because of his new promotion he's got. And the guys there told him, you can't be battling. If you want the promotion, you've got to stop this now. And if we had something to say, well, this is just an art form. It's like, I don't know, someone that likes to do keepy-ups and YouTube videos. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it should be the same thing. But I don't know. That's slightly veering off topic, but it's something that...
I agree. I mean, you know, I to quote someone quite random, to quote Davina McCall, you know,
That's such an English way. my darling Davina McCall. What Tom, what did that queen say? Come on, tell us.
So, you know, I'm not necessarily a giant fan of reality TV or Big Brother or anything like that. But when I was younger, when I was quite young, I remember watching all of Big Brother Series 5, which was the Nadia season and all that sort of stuff. Anyway,
was that the one where the blind man got smacked by the baseball?
That was in season 7. That was a few years later. Yeah.
How do you know that's in season 7?
Yeah. No, I'll go deep. I'll go deep on Paul McCartney, Battle Rap, Big Brother.
Paul McCartney, and I'm waiting for Big Brother.
Yeah.
To be honest, a Big Brother podcast with reflecting on the old ones.
Oh, that'd actually be dope. No, you're right. That would be fire, actually. But, you know, concatenate it down a little bit. Maybe not do the whole season. But anyway, I remember her saying, like, people, you know, obviously this was back when Big Brother was a big deal. People were voted out, Channel 4, Friday night, live show, all that stuff, audience outside, millions watching. And the villains would leave and they would get booed. And they would always walk down the stairs to her and she would hug them and she would whisper in their ear. And she said in this interview, I would always whisper to them, it's just pantomime. And I think that, I always think of that with battle rap. It's just pantomime. Like, okay, you are saying what you think about X or Y, and people can kind of transmit that to their real lives and generate and genuflect on that and reflect on that or whatever. But ultimately, this is the theatre stage. This is the globe. This is the camera. This is about creativity, and in my view, there isn't limits to that. Like, when there was all this backlash over Tay-Rock doing the Ariana Grande Manchester bar. You know, I'm English. I lived in Manchester for years. Obviously, it was a horrific event. I'm not trying to downplay it at all. But it is just pantomime. If you're going to ban one thing, you have to ban everything. It's free license.
It's hard to put, like, something that's quantifiably fact in a way of saying this is what we've got to do to stop this so-and-so from being said. Like, it's hard to quantify exactly what it is because it would never account for context, especially in battle rap.
Yep.
It's really one of the... What was... I had a point about this, but I think another example, at least I've had something in my head that slipped out my mind.
It always goes.
Another example, at least, of kind of the same sort of situation where what's being said is being held accountable. You'll know Tink the Demon, right?
Of course.
Tink the Demon.
Yeah, of course.
So I remember listening to
Free Tink. Is he out yet?
Oh yeah, still. I think he's on house arrest.
Okay.
I think.
Word to Hunger Games. Word to Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, Hunger Games. What an underrated. Well, underrated. It was Tink and Nun Nun. That was kind of Hunger Games.
Pretty much. I love Nun Nun. I know it's such a white guy thing to say, but I think that guy had some serious bars. Like,
You know what? I'm App Gang still. App Gang is super trash right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm still App Gang, and that's when he 3-0'd that guy's skates badly, and he's kind of
Okay,
should be coming.
did you see him versus Bonus? It came out a few years ago. He
Yes,
was
I believe I did.
yeah, he was talking about selling crack to Bonus's mother, and he was like, what did he say? He was like, think Tay versus Clips. She smoked the best rock you've ever seen.
Ooh!
Yeah, yeah, fire.
You know what? I always do feel bad. Like I think Nun Nun when Jack Boy almost retired Nun Nun,
Yeah.
he I remember that word and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was like the third round haymaker, and everyone
That
went
was the
crazy.
sound era of URL where you could just scat
Oh,
and
yeah.
win a bar. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Let me get back to that point. I'm veering off again.
all right, right.
So with Tink the Demon, like, and this is one of those things where we need to kind of protect. This is America with the free speech and things, right? He actually he would have been out earlier, but the judge just watched him versus Saga
Oh,
and all the devil worshipping stuff,
oh my god.
and considered him unfit to be free. Almost, or at least it was. You need to be here prolonged before you come back. Started quoting bars from it and everything in a court.
That's
One of the
crazy.
maddest things.
That's a landmark
Like, and
case.
I think, yeah, like that's is crazy, and we need this protection for these battlers that really, really give it all for us, kind of.
Mhm.
Like I can't get involved in battle rap really. Like I can do the sideline commentary at this point,
Mhm.
but I know myself and my job. If I'm over there trying to promote this type of say violence, it's testament to character whether you want to be violent or not. I would preferably be violent, but if you are to do that, I would get into trouble for it
But it's like
unless I come in and start doing
not-
ABCs of rhyming.
I
Like,
know, but it's no different than the judge knowing that you watched Midsummer or Kill List or anything that's about
Yeah.
pagan sacrifice. Like, it doesn't reflect. Like, okay, Tink is writing these things rather than viewing them, but that I mean, you know, that sort of thinking just enrages me because it doesn't play testament to the plurality of the mind and how, you know, I can be as happy listening to gun bars as listening to Davina McCall interviews. Like, everyone is completely multiplicitous, you know. But yeah, that narrow mind is there. So let's focus on a few more internationals we might have missed.
okay.
Copyright, terrible, right, against Tenshu?
Terrible. Yeah. But I also think Tenji's terrible.
You think Tenji's terrible? I mean, he wasn't great in that
Tenji's
battle,
terrible.
but okay, just
terrible.
Full stop, terrible.
To me, terrible.
Okay.
I think this whole suck the teeth and make mum jokes like type
There's
energy
way
he
more
had.
to Tenshu than
Fucking
that.
awful.
You've so
come
like.
on.
Just he's a freestyle genius.
You want the big can in that?
No.
I'm not having it. Like,
no, okay.
No, I'm not having none of that.
Mm-hmm.
No, your mum is like, it's
yeah.
like he was saying like suck your mum without this and just sucked his teeth in instead. Your mum, like, come on, my guy.
Right. A little reductive, but hey, you're the guest. I respect.
Yeah. I'm being honest. I keep it to like as much as I don't want to dunk on people. Like, I mean, here. Me dunking on Tenshu does nothing to his money.
Right. Fair. And
that does nothing.
And again, guys, listening on the live stream as well, comment. Let us know about your favourite or least favourite internationals on UK soil. Let's think about other leagues now. So
wait, before you get there, there's one more that I want to punch on.
Okay, let's go.
That I personally think might be one of the most over exaggerated rises in battle rap, also being one of the biggest falls of hype we've ever seen, and also being expected at the best and given the best opportunity. One of the worst battles to me is Troy Brown versus Tony D.
Yeah, odd choice, wasn't it?
It was like, why did Troy Brown, who battled Lou Cypher, okay, Lou Cypher's okay, he's okay, and you had a couple of English bars and you you did well. Why did they book him versus Tony D in one of the biggest events? Like, was it Checkpoint 2? Like, you've just come off of Clips versus Tony D,
3.
Arsenal.
Checkpoint 3, but yeah.
Checkpoint 3. Mm-hmm. Oh, even worse.
Yeah.
You've come back to this, like Checkpoint, the big Checkpoint and Birthday Weekend, the two big ones, versus our UK GOAT, who at the time was still a champion? No, he wasn't a champion. No, he wasn't. Who was the reigning undefeated champion prior? And you give him some guy that did one good battle that got hype on the internet a little bit. Like, Troy Brown...
to be fair, has said on the Don't Flop podcast that he regrets booking it, that it was very much in the flush of them going to USA and being a bit enamoured by him or whatever. But no, I do concur. It was a weird choice. It really was.
Terrible choice. To me, and that as one of the worst performances, I'd say. In regards to UK Battle Rap. Well, not the UK Battle Rap, but international debuts and things.
Yeah, I mean, he had that whole... he's the famous bars about isn't it? What does he say? He says something about looking like Osama bin... I can't remember what he says. Yeah, he says something like that.
Osama bin Laden or something. It was something like that. It was
something like that, yeah. I can't...
It was something pseudo-racist, like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it was something
You know what, as well, actually? Here's a question for Barst the Mind. At least here's a fun fact. Troy Brown versus DNA is DNA's lowest viewed battle.
Ever?
I think it's like 22,000 ever. 22,000 views. I mean, his lowest viewed battle ever.
DNA has battled so many no-names in Missouri. Like,
exactly.
That can't be right. His lowest ever.
From what I'm aware, like it came out in the Uncle Ryan interview with DNA.
Interesting. Okay.
That is the lowest view battle ever.
That's mental. Okay.
Fucking. Well, there you go, Troy Brown. There's your reward, appraisal.
Well, looking at other leagues, looking at other vistas. We had other guys. Who else did we have that came over here? Jims was in the full flesh. You remember? Okay, Cam. For people who don't remember, though, the Stay Dirty, King of the Dot debuting, blogging era. Like, Jims was like the thing back then. Like,
Jims was, you know what? I'll probably get punched on by other people for saying this, but Jims was powerful at one point.
Yeah, definitely.
He had a bit of star power to him.
Absolutely.
Like, even was it the DNA battle? Was it that he
DNA battle, Loso battle, and yep.
Yeah, he was powerful for a while. Like before he was on this weight loss tip, but
yeah,
it wasn't a bad performance, but it was nothing. It's one of those forgettable ones.
It is.
But then Tony D also choked again.
Tony D shit the bed yet again, unfortunately. Even
look at you can use my lingo now. Shit the bed.
but even like
look at you, I'll make you a roughing yet. I'll make you a roughing yet.
But even in the battle itself, if I remember correctly, Jims is like, "Come on, champ!" Like Jims is like, Tony, you're fucking this up for both of us. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think Jims knew too much of Tony D anyway. Calling him the champ, for example.
Yeah,
it's kind of it's like, well, you're 3-4 years off at the time.
He was the replacement for C Major, wasn't he? It was going to be Tony C Major.
Oh, so it was.
Yeah.
God, that's a fucking leap for a replacement.
It is a bit, but it was just because Jims was so memey hot at the time, you know what I mean? He kind of had that, doing all the recaps in his car and his kitchen, like that was the Jims era. Like, it was pre-Black Compass, pre-Let's Talk Battle Rap.
Yeah.
He was kind of the voice to a certain extent.
AFM was just starting to die out.
Yeah, AFM was on the way out. It was before Danny and...
I always wanted to be on AFM, but I couldn't call up for US calls.
Yeah, I never found a way to get on there either. Like, going back onto their era when it was the Black Compass guys, like early 2017, like, there are some great shows, like...
Oh yeah. Like, all that clean paper hype.
Yeah,
that they used to have. Oh, Clean Paper's coming back. He's going to kill. And then the twerk battle happened. That is prime listening.
Yeah,
just all how depressed everyone is.
And
them recaps were so entertaining. I love them recaps.
Amazing. And you remember the whole King of the Dot URL debates when that was a legitimate idea, like.
Yeah, yeah. That's sad to say that.
It is actually, but back then you could stand on your ground, but now with the app, it's like there's no boundaries.
Yeah, yeah, you're fucked. But no, what fucking days they were. Mm-hmm. But yeah, with I say this with Jim's. Jim's kind of he got by with a lot of nothing.
Yeah,
got by with his. Maybe it was a bit of a Troy Brown thing. I'm going to consider that a Troy Brown thing now, where you're dabbled in hype and everything, where it doesn't quite pan out. Like he had a good Serious Jones battle in RBE, but he didn't have that many good battles. Like the Math one wasn't that good, and even other ones kind of in between. The DNA battle was a shiner, and Loso, I think he edged out Loso because of. I mean,
the goods battle he got a shiner like.
Oh, in the face!
Jesus Christ!
Fuck that was powerful back then.
Yeah, but, that was a pretty standout moment. So, just going to the chat now. C Daly saying we were trying to remember what that bar was. Troy Brown. He said that Ur's going for a midlife ISIS. That was the bar.
You notice that fucking silence? You notice that silence there?
I did.
I was just about to go, boo! I was so close to booing there. That is terrible.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And
that was bar of the battle.
That was a standout bar of the battle. Liam saying in the comments, 2016 to 2017 was the UK era of mystifying international bookings. Even with the buzz that Jim's had, I don't think any of it translated to UK fans. That's fair, I would say. No.
Yeah. It was throwing shit in the wall and see what happens.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it really was.
It was, and Liam also saying for one of the best. I'd say Lotta Say. He showed out versus Mystery. We mentioned that before. He basically performed to the same standard he hit in his domestic battles. Going back through the chat as well. Mafembe saying Tony D versus Definition. Really? That's when you were saying that was an upset.
Yeah. Yes, really. We could pull. See, now we're in isolation. If we can organize, pull up. We can talk about it. What? We can talk about these things. I'm on that energy. Yeah, let's get this.
Yeah, we need to do some rewatches
get these
on the
Skype
live.
calls and that. Hey, I don't care. Zoom. I'm an ugly bastard. Let's just do a Zoom. You can stare at me. I'll look at you blink, like not even blinking.
So, are there any? Finally, are there any internationals we haven't touched on that you can think of? Like I say, we're not trying to do everyone. We're just trying to do a general chat. But are there any that you think we've missed? I'm trying to think myself.
I'm trying any that we've really missed. I've shout on Troy Brown, which is great. I you know what, it's kind of underrated, and I'll mention it. I'll mention it for mentioning it. We don't have to delve too much into it, but Tech-9 versus Impact.
Oh, okay.
That was actually a bit. It was a good Tech-9 performance.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole don't flop tattoo type angle, like that was something kind of special. I'm being honest, and that I remember at the time I really Tech-9 was one of my favorites for a long time. But yeah, that I remember that I was so gutted I couldn't go to that event, and when I realized that Tech-9 was there, I would have loved to seen him live. Like at the time, I think another one we haven't quite mentioned is Kid Twist versus O'Shea.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, he was terrific there, and Kid Twist has been good whenever he's been over. But yeah, that I think actually no, sorry, that's the first time he's been over, hasn't it? He's been over.
Yeah, it's the only time he's been over.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of WRCs and stuff. Yeah, but just on that Tech-9 thing, because obviously Impact has a don't flop tattoo, and I think Enigma has one as well, and they were just sort of cut up in the time. I don't think any URL battle has a URL TV tattoo, do they?
Oh, there was someone just got a Sue Surf tattoo.
That's crazy.
Like a Sue Surf, I think it was on their arm or something. It's like Sue Surf's face on there. And I'm sure there's one guy with a URL tattoo in America. There is
No,
I've
I'm
seen
talking
that
about Battler.
stuff.
I'm sure there's a guy, but I'm saying like I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
imagine Averb has one on his shin or something. You know what I mean? Like
Just you can't copy respect.
you
Raptor
can't
and-
copy and then respect on the other shin, like one on one.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
And when you put them
I might
together, yeah, there you go.
I might get you a tramp stamp because that's what I get called all the time.
Just a few final quick ones. I mean, he only came over here once, but Jonai, he was good versus Raptor.
Yeah, Jonah. See, I keep saying that he's returning. I keep saying this that Jonai was returning.
Okay.
That it was meant to be. There was a leaked video, quote unquote leaked, that it was like Jonai versus Loso
right
in Detroit. And I remember Organic had the whole like Facebook status of the places he was going, and Detroit was one of them. I think there was something about him returning for Loso. It's obviously it's probably held off now for COVID, but yeah, he might be returning, and I'd be very excited to see because that's remember B Dot and Mike P at the time when they were beforehand wanted Jonai. They were gunning for him. Like, and just a bit, there's a lot of wasted opportunity in his departure. But him versus Raptor was probably the best battle of that event. The 8th birthday weekend?
No, it was the 8th birthday weekend, and I'd say you were right. I'd say that probably was the best battle. I mean, it's a shame we didn't get Sway versus Gem. That might have been the best, but
oh, Swave's face! I just remember that meme. He stood there like looking depressed, watching the battles on stage. Oh,
yes, Swave was
poor him.
He was upset. Yeah, and I'll never forget being in the tight bunker rooms on the Friday on the pre-party. Swave comes in, everyone's watching like JB versus Vicious or something, whatever it is. It's a packed room, but because Swave enters, and when the door, it's one of those rooms where the door opens and everyone looks to the door because all the gust comes in. It's fucking Swave, like, and he's just like, "Where the weed at?" Just shouting that over the battle, like interrupting the footage, ruining it. And I'm like, nice. Swave, what a legend! Like, so
what?
So yeah, guys, I mean, this has been, a really fun, discursive chat just on internationals. Let us know in the comments down below anything we've missed, what your opinions are, who are the best, who are the worst, etc. Go back and check out all the episodes that we've had Cameron on before. I'm trying to think the ones we've done. We've had you on a few times. We did the Premier Battles.
3, I think.
Yeah, this is the 3rd one, I think. We recapped Apex, and then we previewed the All-Star Game. And then, this is the 3rd one. So,
this is the 3rd.
It's always, always a privilege. And, as I said before, I think on our first episode, I heard you originally on Black Compass going on there, just going against all the guys, just, defending your corner. And it was some fantastic rhetoric. So I want to urge people to go check out that podcast and check out your haunts. What about yourself, man? Is there anything you'd like to promote personally, or?
You know what? I don't have nothing to promote myself, but I do want to make mention of one guy who really, really new to this world, and he's probably hollered at you, Tom, if I'm correct in saying, for a chance of an interview. There's a guy called was it Lewis Spencer? The Daily Dose podcast.
Oh, yes, we've been in touch. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He is literally Mate, I've looked through. He sent me a list of all the podcasts he's done. He's done something like 30 in 9 days, and it's just he's every day.
Yeah.
And I gotta give him a shout out because he's doing a lot of things right. I keep telling him to slow down, let some of these views materialize, give it time, and let it breathe. First, because it's a lot in a 2-hour podcast. I let it breathe.
Yeah.
And then there's the next one the next day, and you can't finish your one because there's another one if you're trying to follow it. Yeah. But I gotta give him a shout out. And you'd be great on there too. And if you're ever in a situation where you're needing someone to chat shite with, I'm always here needing a reason to chat shite with anyone. And if anyone in the chat or whatever is trying to pull up, we can talk about it. We can talk about things. If anything I'm saying is wrong, I'm first to admit if I'm wrong, but best believe you better have a good argument as to why you're right.
No, and I want to.
I was so threatening. Fucking hell. Getting the old thug side of me there, man. I haven't been that in years.
I want to reiterate, the Daily Dose podcast reminds me of BRR back in the day when you're just interviewing everyone and uploading loads of shit, and I am going to go on there soon. And he's interviewed a lot of big people for a long time. I
think I'm on there at some point. I was meant to be on there today, actually.
Oh shit! Yeah, you definitely.
I was meant to be working. He asked me to come on too, and it was like I can't do the mornings. I'm working, and then I have this on at night, and I was about to go on a whole press run for the day, like if I managed it, but. Nah, but all in all, I saw you were saying I interrupted you.
No, it's all good, man. No, I just want to say, go check out Daily Dose Media, subscribe. I'll be on there soon. The guy's been in touch. I know he's been following BRR for quite a few years. We've been messaging here and there, and it's cool to see obviously we got Sarcasm City out there, but they did their own thing. But in terms of a long form battle rap interview UK podcast, that is cool to see another one out there, and I've been listening to a few of the episodes as well. So yeah, guys, just to finally say, follow us at Battle Rap Resume. If you enjoy the show, go subscribe to the Patreon. We're on iTunes as well. Tell a friend about the show, leave a review, all that sort of stuff. Let us know down below in your comments your most favourite and least favourite international battlers. This has flown by, to be honest, man. I can't believe we've been chatting for 2 hours. This has been it's always good to have you on, man. Thing.
Yeah, man, it's always good to be on. And I say this, that if I'm always on the forums and things. If you see my name come across, just reply to Sahan and I'll bully you for a second. I'll take my time out to bully you and tell you that you're wrong.
No, this guy knows. This guy really knows his shit, guys. So yeah, if you want to seek someone out for a worthy opponent, then there's no better. They don't go better than Cameron. And so guys, again, subscribe, leave us a review, say it, Patreon, all that sort of stuff. Greatest, worst international showings on UK soil. But Cam, thanks again, man.
No worries, my man. Salute. You stay safe, handsome. Okay, wash your hands.
All right.